Yo, what is going on, beautiful people? Appreciate y'all tuning in to our podcast. Y'all know me, Edward, Emcstats, sports reporter, sports journalist. I got my brothers with me. We're getting this podcast started. What better time than now to do it with all this getting ready to go on. So the name of our podcast is We Need a Name. And no, that's not a joke. We really do need a name for our podcast. So, hey, it's all good. We're going to live forever. Sometimes you just got to start and you figure stuff out like that down the road. But we're going to be kicking crazy conversation, culture, sports, hip hop, music, whatever you can think of. We got some great minds on this podcast. Some guys I really look up to and admire. At the later end of the podcast, we really gonna get into some football, and our football expert, football coach, he's gonna come in. So y'all get a chance to introduce him, and we're gonna rip him apart for him thinking O'Brien is a good head coach. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So kicking it off to my brother Isaac, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? Well, Isaac, man, just out here representing, the culture and our people, man, on here with my brothers, been knowing them for a lifelong. And, we still got, a million more to go, man. Just, trying to bring y'all good content, interesting, palatable, relatable, and that's how we gonna do it,
I'll let the people, Darnell.
What's up? It's your boy Black Peace, up and coming social media, guy. Here to give you that open-minded view on a little bit of everything, man. Just you never know with me. Got you.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
What it do, good people? It's your boy Live, aka Sedatious, aka the Golden Child, aka all the above, the trippiest of them all. You know me, I'm all about the positivity, the humility, the humbleness, the love, all that good stuff, man. And we just come to spread love and knowledge. Take it away, E-Mac.
Hey, right on. So, before the podcast, my boy Isaac had me a little apprehensive, to go on the podcast with the quarantine cuts. So I was like, we got to keep it real with the conversation. So I'm gonna keep it real with the hair, man. It is what it is. I'm gonna get a cut soon, but it is what it is, man. Hey, yo, so let's get into these playoffs, man. Right now, as we're talking, it's overtime of the Heat versus the Celtics Eastern Conference Championship. So, let's get into the shits. First off, how many games and who do you see winning that series to start off? Isaac.
Man, I think it's gonna go 7, man. I feel like it's going to be a well-rounded series. It's going to be a great matchup on both sides because Miami has a lot of perimeter shooting. They're going to be able to match a lot of what the Celtics, kind of want to do as well, with some premier wing players in Tatum and Brown and Kemba. So I just feel like, with the young core of Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, led by the dog himself, my boy from the H, Jimmy, the bucket getter, I just feel like it'll be a tough matchup, man. So I really don't have a pick 'em either way. I see it going 7. I really can see it teetering either way, just depending on how that game is played that day and who seemingly will want it more. I see it going 7.
Okay. What you got, Darnell? What you got on the series?
I got a good old-fashioned 7-game East Coast rough series, man. I like this series. I didn't quite see it, to be honest. I thought the Bucks were gonna, snap the Heat, but that didn't happen. But I definitely think this is gonna be entertaining, but a very, very sports-orientated series. So I got 7, and I'm gonna swing it. Honestly, this is on a coin toss. I'm honestly say the one that knocked off the number 1 seed. I'm gonna go and say the Miami. I like Boston, but Miami Heat just seemed like the team that is there and ready.
Well, I agree with Izzo. I think it's kind of hard to call, especially within this first game going to overtime already. Tyler Hero just hit a magnificent shot, and Marcus Smart been working all night, and Tyler Hero can come and just erase all of that. So it's really gonna be hard to call. I see it going 7 as well. I see it going 7 as well. But yeah, I can't call it, man, because both teams, they look evenly matched. Even on paper, of course, Boston has the advantage, but they look evenly matched on the field.
You know what, man? I'm finna stick my neck out there, man. I got the Heat in 7. I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna stand on that wholeheartedly. And the reason being,
Yeah.
I won $100
Yeah.
on the Heat beating the Bucks. And I tell people this all the time, man. In the playoffs, when the game slows down, if you don't have that one premier perimeter player who will just be willing to take the game into his own hands and be able to create for himself, you will not go far. Though the Celtics have 2 of those, I just feel like Jimmy Butler, along with the veteran leadership, Andre Iguodala, and then, like I said, a young shooting core of Nunn, Robinson, and Hero, I just think it'll be too much,
But
for Miami to overcome.
just like you said,
For the Celtics
just
to
like you
overcome.
said, just like you said, that young core, that's the scary part. It can work both ways. It's like, it's all about if they're going to continue that consistent confidence. They got it right now. It's all like, can they ride all the way through? Because I see it, but it's like the young shooters, they can just have those demotions and just miss and just get on themselves. So in the last 2 series they swept. They had a lot of confidence. They were outmatched. They outmatched their opponents. Like, they managed first teams in the series where it's like, oh no, you ain't gonna run over us. We're gonna give you a battle every single game. So, experience at this point is kind of like the only thing against them, but yet they got almost enough they have just enough experience to be able to wing it, but not be for sure.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to go ahead and say the Celtics in 6, only because, if it goes 7, that's fine. But the reason I say the Celtics in 6 is because I feel like one of the key determining factors in the Miami Heat being able to overtake the Milwaukee Bucks is that we knew the Bucks' staple in their offense was Giannis' effectiveness. We knew if we put a wall up, because we did it last year in the playoffs, we've seen teams do it last year, if we put a wall up, we can stop Giannis, i.e. we can stop the Bucks overall. In this particular case, going against the Boston Celtics, I don't know what type of scheme you try to creatively put together to say we're going to stop the Boston Celtics because, Kemba ain't no scrub. Jason Tatum ain't no scrub. I think I don't feel like he's over that really super duper elite level yet, just in terms of just like, we know he a dog, but like as the moments rise, it's like, are you really a dog? And that is like the stage gets bigger. So I'm gonna just say the Celtics off the strength that I feel like you said, Isaac, which I love about the playoffs compared to the regular season, and I always argue with Darnell about this, bro, it's something about when that game slow down and it's a 1-possession game with 6 minutes left. Some of that is teamwork influence, but at the heart of it, it's like, do you got that superstar or do you just have that prolific offensive player that can get you a bucket? You understand what I'm saying? And Jimmy is he's just a hooper. I wouldn't call him a superstar. I would just say balls out. He's just a hooper. You understand what I'm saying? So he's been playing great. But at the same time, Jimmy could fall off the face of the earth on offense.
The man's a premium all-star.
Huh?
The man's a premium all-star. Nice.
Premium all-star, okay. To me, that's not a superstar, though.
He's not correct. You're right. You're correct. If we you go ahead.
Yeah, no, but to some of the, I'm going to choose the Celtics because I feel like they have more guys who can create their own shot if it's really tough. And if the defense break down, you can swing it to Jason, you can swing it to Kemba. We know Kemba can get his own shot any given day, any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like there's enough butlers to go around defensively to just say we're going to put a hole to Jason, we're going to put a hole to Kemba or, another shooter, somebody, Brown. Brown is the X
He's a little contagious, though.
We was playing 2K yesterday. Brown is the X factor. They got 3 guys who can get their own shot. But that's my piece. Celtics and 6.
But also he is contagious, though. He does have some contagious defense.
Man, and then
leadership.
Can we pick after game 1 or y'all gonna try to just?
Whatever your pick is, whatever the result of your pick is, won't matter off game 1. If you say it's
if you're looking at what's happening right now, and you be like, I don't know, because I would hate for you to be making this pick not looking at what I'm looking at. Is what I'm saying.
I'm not looking at it. I'm going off just what I've seen, what I feel,
With
what
your
I've seen from
basketball
both
knowledge.
teams.
I predict it.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, and to piggyback off what E was saying, you know, as far as with the Celtics, you know, just having three, you know, perimeter players that are able to get their own shot off. I wouldn't sleep on this young man that they call Tyler Hero, man.
Hero is a monster. I won't take that away.
Hey, that boy got a lot of Devin Booker in his book. He got a lot of that in his book. A lot of it.
big stage,
I'm not gonna
brothers,
call him
big
Devin
stage,
Booker, but he's
brothers.
Devin Booker-esque. He loves the big lights, man. And then when you put that with Jimmy
It's big
Butler, he
lights.
could be anybody, even any given night. And that's the beautiful part about Miami. I feel like
That's crazy.
Hero could go off for 28 one night. Then a lot of people sleep on the European Dragon, Goran Dragic. He could give you 25 one night. Not let alone Jimmy
Facts.
Butler. You know how he bust the Bucks over the head for 40. The 40 ball the first, you know, game out of the series. Like they got a few players that are well capable of, you know, any given night they can put the game in their back pocket and, you know, go ahead and drive the team. So I mean, hey, it's gonna be a series most definitely. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
So like I say, as we're talking, I don't know if the game is over or if it's still overtime between Miami versus Boston. But Game 7, these Nuggets versus these Clippers. What y'all boys talking about, man? What y'all? Hey, man. What y'all? Who wins Game 7? And we're talking about this live, so we're gonna get to see immediately who was right or who was wrong. Like, how do y'all feel? Well, I'm gonna start with Darnell because I know like he been ranting and raving all last season about the Nuggets, and now this year when we talk about him, he be like, I don't know. How you feel about them Game 7 against these Clips, man?
Bruh, they doing something in history that I think probably has never ever been happened, which is come back 2 straight 3-1 downs. Nobody's ever done that, as far as I can recollect. But they're showing me that absence that was making me not root for them, which is trusting each other, which is people stepping up and being leaders, the big dog being the big dog when it counts, understanding like this is playoffs, this is go hard or go home, and just understand the aspects of playoffs. And I mean, they're making me a big fan. Again, I've always been a fan of them, always kept them in my pocket, but at the same time, though, it's always just been like, well, since last year and this upcoming year, they're kind of just chilling. I'm just like, y'all doing y'all thing, y'all what, 2nd, 3rd seed, but at the same time, though, it's y'all just chilling. Y'all ain't made no big impact. But, you know, I even came into the series very skeptical. Like, you know what, I don't know, man. The Clips may lock him up. You know, Murray, he had a good matchup and just kind of like showed out. But, you know, I mean, they're really stepping up, man. I mean, when the going gets tough, that's when it matters at the end of the day. And that's exactly what they're doing. And the Clippers are not closing. They are not closing. If they make it,
Question to all of y'all. So I'm rooting for the Clippers to win simply because I believe the Lakers are going to walk through the Nuggets if the Clippers don't win Game 7.
Of course.
However, now one would argue it's arguable and fair, completely fair to say if Denver beats the Clippers and they won a Game 7 against Utah, they won a Game 7 against the Clippers, who was arguably the Western Conference favorite. I still feel like if they were to win tonight against the Clippers, there still wouldn't be no respect on their name, and people will probably still pick them to get swept. How do y'all feel about the Nuggets going up against the Lakers if the Nuggets were to happen to win Game 7?
Well, what you said, everybody else is saying, they're gonna get swept. Or it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep, like it was with Portland and Houston.
And I would piggyback off that of what Sedatious said, and the only reason being so is that because if you realizing what's the problem in the Clippers and the Nuggets series, if people haven't been watching it, I just want to let you know the Clippers ain't got no damn body to hold Jokic. They done tried to put Paul George on him. That didn't work. Montrezl Harrell, he is a little boy compared to Jokic. That shit ain't working. So they just don't have an answer for him. And the only thing that I feel like can combat that is you have a dominant post player yourself who, i.e., can, draw other bigs out to the perimeter, get their mid-range off. as AD can do. AD is a dominant post presence, but also, you know, he's a mobile artillery unit. He can give you mid-range. He can give you, you know, the through ball if you need. He's just, you know, he's as package. So that's the only thing I feel like. And then the Nuggets don't have an answer for LeBron James. They don't have anybody on their team that can match him.
Now,
it's a, you know.
With that being said,
no.
You're gonna live with LeBron being LeBron, and they're gonna do every little scheme they can. They're not gonna worry about LeBron James. I felt they made it to that point. At the end of the day, Jokic has played now he is older and he's not as good as Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, but he has played LaMarcus Aldridge and got the business and had a battle with LaMarcus Aldridge like a year ago in the playoffs. He is no comparison. But at the same time, with the same skill set.
I think Jokic and AD around the same age.
Hey, I would love to see Jokic against AD.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying, it won't be an outmatched battle like it would come off to be. But he would definitely be putting up some numbers. It ain't gonna be like he would have his games. You know, Jokic's gonna have his games. He's not gonna be a sweep. I honestly going in with the whole 7 coming back from 3-1, I still would give the Nuggets 4-2 Lakers in the series, to be honest. Just being honest with myself.
Why 2 games?
So I give them 2 games. Because for one, I give that first game like they've been doing every series, and then that's realistic. Don't be like that. That is a number 3 seed. You have to give them respect. Come on. The Rockets were outmatched. They were outsized, and Portland had at least 1 or 2 other games when they lost that were actually like challenging games. So one like they just put them away instantly, like every single game. So it is flaws in their game. This is the only complete team they've actually went up against, technically. Small ball, I counted the Rockets out from the get-go. Blazers, not enough pieces. This is the only full team they're going to go against in that conference.
I have one question. Who in the hell gonna hold AD? Nobody on the Nuggets can hold Anthony Davis. That is a well-known.
Who's gonna hold LeBron?
And AD's gonna hold AD. And I'm gonna leave it at that. AD is gonna hold AD.
You gonna make these people take your basketball court talking about some AD gonna hold AD. AD gonna mess around and give you 30 for the series, and y'all have to be out in Game 5 going back out the bubble. Just be happening. Yeah,
just like he's been doing, right? He's been doing that, right? Every single game that's been going on. He's not been a factor while he loses games, right?
LeBron is good for dropping Game 1, but LeBron is a computer. He is studying you. And every time, if you notice, LeBron James in Game 1s, he probably got a losing record in his Game 1s. Like, he like notoriously loses Game 1.
I know, and that's why I gave him Game 1.
Right? Exactly. But so Nuggets might very well win Game 1, but I'd be hard-pressed they win another game after that. Hard-pressed to believe they will win another one after that.
Wow. Even though the Blazers had took them to like 2 games outside of that series.
Please do not put the Blazers in the same. The Blazers aren't in the same category as the Lakers doing there, man. You know that. They aren't, bro. That's 2 different.
I know that, but they still took them to battles. That's what I'm saying. They still gave them competition. They still gave them not necessarily a run for their money, but it wasn't just a stomp. Like, they're still like not. Like I said, what team have they actually went up against as a full-blown team? I
say this, E. I think a bigger question may be the Clippers may not be who we thought they were.
That's
because
fair.
Everybody and their mama done told me Kawhi Leonard is a top 3 player in his league. He's better than LeBron James. LeBron is falling off. Kawhi is on the upkeep. He's on the uprise. He's the new best thing since sliced bread. And, brother, I tell you this, because you know how I feel. Poochie, you know how I feel about Paul George, bro. Paul George, if you need him, please don't call Paul George because he ain't coming to rescue you.
He's going to miss that phone call.
He's going to miss that phone call every time. Most times than not, he's not picking up that phone.
Sorry, I
seen it on Twitter. I know I'm the reporter, so I'll probably share my facts right, but we'll get down the road on that later. But nah, I seen this on Twitter. I think it was true, but if it is true, Doc Rivers has a bad record when being up 3-1. I want to say he lost a 3-1 lead in
Rockets
the
did.
playoffs when he was with the Magic. I want to say it was another team, or maybe it was the Celtics. I think it was. I don't know. But yeah. So I mean, I think maybe Isaac.
The Rockets beat them 3-4 years ago.
Not only could the question be, is Kawhi or the Clippers not who we thought they were? Like, is Doc Rivers? I mean, like, not. And, you know, I won't say not in that top tier of coaching, but, like, is Doc Rivers to blame possibly? Like, is that a fair question?
Man, we definitely calling it into question. It's definitely on the table for discussion because the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, in closeout games where he could win and literally go on to the next series, he has a losing record. It's subpar. Yeah. At best, it's subpar. Yeah. So we can definitely
I ain't respected him since he left Boston because I feel like every team that he's been, I guess, accredited for has had some superstars because he had the Celtics team in 08, and then he had Lob City, and whenever he had Chris Paul and them boys.
Up 13.
And he vastly underachieved.
This just came to my mind. Game 7, up 13 late in the fourth against. Well, I wouldn't say late, but top of the fourth against the Lakers, 2010. Yeah. They come back and beat them. I mean, like to Isaac's point, when and the biggest game 7 of all, about advancing, winning the championship. You know, he dropped the ball on that. But
now, this is not a. Let's
talking about coaches. Talking about coaches, since we're talking about Doc, we all from H-Town, born and raised. D'Antoni is no longer with the Rockets. How do boys feel about that one?
No comment.
Free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Get his ass up out of here, man. We ain't need him. We did not need him. We didn't need him.
Y'all my non-H-Town, y'all my all non-H-Town, non-Texas viewers. Chunk of deuce right there. Nice name, player.
Isaac, I know. Sedatious, he's a Laker fan. He could care less about the.
Well, you know, he used to be a Laker coach. So it's like, if the Lakers break up with the coach.
That's fair. That's fair. Isaac, did you have hope, or did you never believe in the Rockets system going into this season, or when we came into the playoffs?
It really all started for me. It was a time where I had high respect for Mike D'Antoni. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was in college. I was in my house, man, with a couple of my homies watching the game, and this is around the time 2018 playoffs when we had Chris Paul. Everybody know what I'm about to go.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
We up in the series on Golden State, and my boy Chris go to grab him for that hammy.
Get hurt.
That's how she wrote after that. And when I tell you, I quite literally cried. I could have cried real tears that night. I ain't called my gal that night. I ain't talked to nobody after that game, bro. Because, and the reason being, no, is because I knew in my head that was like our real opportunity that we had that year to literally win it all. Because that was a compromised Cleveland team that was coming out of the East. LeBron didn't really have help like that. And the Rockets, we had just came off having the best record in the league. We were riding a high of our highs.
They was giving it to Golden State,
James was performing at an all-time level. And Chris was really playing at an all-time level, especially against Steph. He really, took the matchup head on and was giving Steph tap for tap, whatever he wanted. And for us not to kind of pull through just based off of his injury, we just never were the same like that. I feel like a lot of teams get demoralized, when they go through catastrophic losses like that. And I definitely say that was one of the more catastrophic losses within our franchise, kind of losing that series the way we did, the record number of threes being missed. So to answer your question, E, man, I had hope, but after that, man, I just never regained that high of, expectation that, we actually could, win a NBA Finals, man. It just, the team never was quite good enough to really get us over the hump because really we only lost to Golden State. That's the only team that really knocked us out throughout the tenure of, we've been on. So,
Juggernaut.
Man, Mike the system is great in the regular season, man. But just to put a ribbon on that, man, he don't make no damn adjustments in the playoffs, man. And we fall every time because of that. We fall every time because of that single notion.
Darnell, so
Yes,
obviously we know how you feel about like the Rockets and like D'Antoni and that system. So we're talking about putting these superstar players and coaches in question. How do you feel about? Well, no, you told me you didn't like this move when it happened. So tell the people why you didn't like this move when it happened with us or with the Rockets acquiring Westbrook.
You choose to get athletic basketball. Oh my God! When I say the most athletic next to LeBron and a couple of the players, I mean one of the most athletic basketball players in the NBA over at Brain. You don't choose Braun over Brain at any point in your life ever. You don't do that. There's small cases when you do, I guess, but it's very small percentage. You do not do that. Chris Paul is something you cannot. Chris Paul is one of the things where you literally have to let him be him. You cannot tell him how to play basketball. He's already a high-level competitor. And at the end of the day, what I feel what happened was they felt like I need to coach more. I felt like D'Antoni took that loss very hard when they lost this game 7 because they felt like it was his time to coach and he let them down. So I felt like that next year he started just poking his nose too much to where just the chemistry was thrown. How do you have almost the exact same team and you cannot compete as well? Like I've seen the series, both of those series back to back with a healthy Chris Paul, and things were just out of whack. Like how? Y'all been playing each other for long. It's the same players. Now y'all didn't figure out. Nothing's been figured out. Everything's been figured out that needs to be figured out. So with all that being said, it's one of the things where it's like D'Antoni, that like to piggyback right off of I just said, that blow was a blow and it hit him hard. And as a coach, he shouldn't have took it personally. He should have done what Phil Jackson did when they lost. It's like, dude, we got it. We just got to tink this, tink that. No, we ain't got to destroy the whole game plan. We ain't got to I ain't got to try to tell my players, no. All we have to do is just touch this, touch that, and we're good. And instead, he destroyed the whole game plan. Once he did that, I can see it in Chris Paul's face. He tried his best, but it was in a game plan he did not want to do. Mm-hmm. Then they say, you know what? You don't want to play no more. You're washed up. This is when getting a young buck who's having a triple-double. Let's see what he can do. Once that happened, I just knew, like, you know what? He's not a winner. He's athletic. He's a scorer. He's a gift. He's not a winner. When has he ever won by himself? Never. He had to get Chris Paul and Carmelo to even get a chance. He's not a solo winner. He's not that guy. He's a great athlete, maybe like somewhere in somebody's system for some reason, but just until he understands basketball better, have a stronger IQ, no, his IQ is
I feel like that point is proven with
like you can't do that.
Taking the Rockets as far as they took them. I feel like that point is proven. Like
7 games.
It was literally just Chris Paul.
4 points.
The Rockets.
My take.
2.
You good? Do you finish?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my thing with the Rockets. All right, and I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna transition over to the NFL. My take with the Rockets, and like I don't know why this didn't dawn on me, but you know, like a lot of times I'm just multitasking, watching the game, highlights, editing, whatever. But like when you just like Isaac said, that system, you know, it works regular season, back-to-back. Teams ain't trying to run up and down the court. Teams tied, whatever. When you watch them play, and I think what they're trying to do, I wouldn't even say trying to do because D'Antoni's system to a degree was implemented before with the Suns, before we seen what Golden State did. And when you look at them play now, a lot of times, I mean, as we know, it's ISO or pick and roll with James Harden, and like there's no off the ball movement, none whatsoever. Like Harden, you take your screen, and we're gonna, if you drive or draw your foul, I mean, if we get a rebound, we're gonna try to tip it out, and we'll get it through that way. Or Harden, you drive, get an and one, or you kick it to Tucker in the corner. And it's just like when you watch that type of basketball, and even Kobe said it, which probably should have had the audio drawn up when he was just like, oh, Harden getting those numbers are beautiful, but I mean, I don't think that's championship winning basketball. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I feel like they're trying to be the Golden State Warriors, but you can't be the Golden State Warriors because, like, those threes that the Golden State Warriors get come beautifully and eloquently within the offense. If you pay attention to how Stephen Curry move without the ball, if you pay attention to how Klay move without the ball, like, they getting them threes with an offensive set. You know what I'm saying? Of course, their hard work, their preparation to where, like, yo, this is our offensive scheme. This is where you're going to get your threes. Yeah, at points and times the game may break down, and Curry, you get to do your thing and, you know, go ISO on them. But, like, when you look at how the Rockets play and how stagnant the offense is, it's just like, bro, you niggas is not going to win like that. And you can't win. And you can't win on this rebound.
Oh, shit.
Why is it?
Well, to defend Daryl Morey a little bit, you gotta give some grace on this perspective. He knows he doesn't have a Stephen Curry and a Klay Thompson on his team because if people don't know this out there, Stephen Curry is the best shooter of the basketball to ever walk God's green earth. And Klay Thompson, I believe it's safe to say that he is the second best.
Yeah.
They just so happened God put them on the same team, and that's how that works. You know what I'm saying? So we all know that can't be duplicated, right? Even though, you know, James isn't a great shooter, he's a great scorer, i.e. like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook isn't a great shooter by any stretch. I wouldn't even call him a good shooter, but he's a great athlete and he could put the ball in the hole.
Exactly.
Right? So what they're trying to do with the Houston system, all Daryl Morey wants to do is maximize his opportunities to hit threes because the analytics would say the more of these than we take and hit than you, we're going to win more times than not. That's what the numbers say. We're going to win. We're going to win more games than a lot of people in the league.
To that,
So,
Isaac,
we're just betting on that. So,
to that, Isaac, sometimes numbers lie. And simply, the game 5, where the Rockets lost, taking threes will win you the game. But you got to hit them hoes. Lakers go franchise playoff record, 19 threes in game 5 to the Rockets, 13 threes. The Rockets took more threes than the Lakers. The Rockets took 49 threes, only hit 13. Lakers took 37 and only hit 19 threes.
53.
So I said this to you, Darnell, like, I don't like them living and dying by the three because when you really need to live by the three, you die by it. And sometimes dying by the three means you're not making shots. You're not making your threes. But they died double with 2 shots to the head by the three because they didn't make their threes. And then they're not taking another shot. And they not getting another shot. 50%. And the Lakers made more threes than them. So, like, they damned if they do and they damned if they don't with shooting a 3 ball. But that was
guess what? No rebounds.
No rebound. No chance for second opportunities.
Small ball.
Oh, yeah, until small ball, like I just said, just to add to the stats to prove it since Daryl Morey likes stats.
Why the hell do we even pick up Tyson Chandler in the offseason if we had all intentions of playing small ball? It's like, you got it. The game is about adjustments. Can we not adjust and put a fucking 7-footer in the game and compete on the board? Like, can we not do that?
The Lakers.
Can we not do that? Because I know we overpaid for. I know we overpaid for Clint Capella, and we want to have more, more 3-and-D guys on the wing. But damn, man, we do got Tyson on our team, and at a point we had Hartenstein that we weren't playing, and it's like, man, come on, D'Antoni, get up out of here, bro. If that's the best you can come up with, is just ISO and then high pick and roll with James at the. Nah, come on, bro. People deserve better than that. We done went to that point.
Hey, to the point of small ball, the Lakers out-rebound the Rockets 50 rebounds to 31 in game 5. So those some stats for you, Daryl Morey. Small ball not it. Small ball not it, my G. But that was the NBA.
Face busted open for small ball.
Say that again.
So Robert Covington got his face broken open because of small ball.
That's true. But that was the NBA segment, man. We fixed to cross over to the NFL section. Introduce y'all to our brother Christian, who he's a brilliant mind. I tell you, a brilliant mind. But yeah, we about to bring Christian in and get into some NFL, man. Appreciate y'all still tuning in, listening to our podcast that still yet to have a name. But if you love us, you fuck with us, help us come up with a name, man. We greatly appreciate it. and y'all can be those, y'all can be that audience of that group. Be like, yo, man, we've been fucking with y'all boys back when y'all didn't even have a name, man. So, yeah, let's get to the NFL.